Hello everyone, this is Daniel, and well, Christ's decision was made to tell everyone what exactly is going on, and I don't know what the government is doing, but God will tell me what the government is doing, but on the other hand, I don't know if it's doing anything or if it's just demonic. So let me tell you straight up, people are very confused today. People are just beyond confused. They don't know what truth is, they don't know what is truth and what is not truth. They think, well, oh, it's just some mysterious event. Guys, the reason why I'm telling you this right now is because people make up so many. Everyone's making up every single stories about each other's thoughts about. So everyone is different, you know. So one person makes up one story, and another person makes up another story about what is going on in the sky. So if an asteroid makes up a story, if an asteroid strikes out down from the heaven, it's just an asteroid, right? But there's a million people. Okay, let's say there's a million people. But now let's say there's a million different stories, except for the 12 different stories that are not different, and that's just the same stories. Well, guys, let me just tell you right now, straight up, no one is listening to the truth anymore. They're just making up lies to think, oh yeah, that's what's going on. People love to lie today. They really love to lie and make up news stories about what is going on in space. They think, oh, it's a UFO, oh, it's an alien that's trying to attack us, oh, it's a laser beam from the sky, wherever it is, you know? And, well, maybe people are going to churches and making up their different ideological truth about what could be a truth in the church. Let's say they look at the Bible and everyone thinks differently about the Bible. Even if it's different to the Bible for everyone, maybe salvation is different to everyone as well. And he sees that no one is fit for heaven. No one has faith anymore. This is what God sees. No one has faith anymore. It's not what the government has done, no. The government has done very little to deceive you. What about demons? What about their giving thoughts in your head? Well, they've whispered thoughts in your head, but they've done very little as well. The people have influenced each other. It's all the flesh have influenced each other on the internet to tell lies and about filthy lies about each other and lies about everyone else. Everyone's lying on the internet to say, oh, it's just a normal event. It's just a normal event. Instead of being a normal event, the people saying on the internet, oh, it's something else. They're just saying it's all extra stuff. People are saying, so some people say it's a normal event and it's all extra and it's like extraterrestrial. So people are not thinking the way they used to anymore. Let's talk about what happened in 2012 in Russia, May 2013, maybe 2013. So in Russia there was literally a asteroid strike or a meteor strike in Russia, and they knew that was a meteor. Today, now people think I can't talk today. Now people think it's something else. People think, well, it's just a UFO or something like that. If the same thing happened today in Russia as it did in 2013 and 2012 or 2011, people would think, oh, it's just a UFO. If it happened like 10 years later, let's say, if it happened 20 years later, people would say, oh, it's a UFO that made that noise. And there would be many, closures and many government, like, secret services and all that. They're going on Russia to discuss all of these horrible things that are happening on the earth because of aliens. Or maybe it's a mystery and nobody knows what it is. It's a meteor, people. So why are people saying, oh, it's weird things? People are thinking about UFOs these days. I believe the internet has lied to everyone. But let me tell you why I believe also. Ever since the discussion of UFOs is really opening a door to literally confuse everyone and think, oh, the heavens are just weird and filled with life. And the heavens are filled with nothing but dust, rock, and even plasma. That's all the um, that's all that the universe is ever filled with, except for the Earth. The Earth is very special. And then at the very edge of the universe, there's spirits. But what about the connection on the spirits into the Earth? Well, there's portals, but that's it. Only demons can use portals, and they have their own special layers. You know, it's fast over there. I know. Seriously, guys, there is no way that people just got to see it in just a massive 2 years. Except for a coincidence that the whole flesh lied to everyone else, and that the devil made the flesh lie to each other. Served from one source, and everyone else lied. I'm sorry, but everyone is deceived right now. Everyone is deceived. And people say, oh, it's a mysterious UFO that crashed from the sky. It made a big bang. No. That is an asteroid that came from space. And it landed nowhere. It burned up in the sky and it landed nowhere. People were saying, oh, it came close to the Earth. It's closer from the sky than it used to be. No. It all is very much the same where the asteroids and meteors land from the sky. It hits the atmosphere at the same altitude as everything else. What about forest fires? Oh, they came from 5G. No, they do not come from that. There's so much conspiracy theories that there's nothing else to come. There's so many conspiracy theories that people are very confused about. Oh, is a conspiracy theory really what people think it is? No, well, conspiracy theories, many of them wrong. Many of them are wrong, and very few are right. How is conspiracy theory right? If someone has evidence. What about a conspiracy theory being right? It's like winning the lottery, guys. It really is. And this has got to stop. And the only reason why there's conspiracy theories is because the devil made us lie to ourselves, and we're the ones that listen to it. The devil can only do so much and make us lie to ourselves. The one thing we do, and we do a lot of it, is we lie to ourselves. And everyone is lying to each other about conspiracy theories and all that. We're all lying to each. We're all lying to ourselves. We're all lying to ourselves. And the only unfortunate thing is, what do we do when we lie? Well, we make up stories. We want power. We want everyone to listen to us. It's all about pride. You know what the center of all sin is? Pride. It's sex. Like lust is, it's like, you know, what is it? Adultery, all of this fornication stuff and all that. All the sexual sins. Murder. Witchcraft is also pride. Yes, it is. Trust me, it is. Power. Idol worship, that's also pride because you're thinking that you're better than others, you know? Think about it. Corruption is, well, abominations, yes, that's also pride. Unbelief, yes. Unbelief is basically thinking you're better than everyone else, and lying to everyone and saying, oh, there's no such thing as God, and saying, oh, I'm right and all that, that's pride. And fearful people, well, the only thing prideful about that is, well, they're making themselves dark by being fearful. And they're going against God by staying away from God. That's also pride. And they're saying they're better than God in a sneaky sense. You better think about some of these things, you know? Everything that is a center of sin is pride. It's all about power. It truly is. And the power of fear is really prevalent in this world today. People are lying to everyone else. It's basically the center. It's basically the main sin right there. Lying is not. I'm not doing this to be a great problematic person, but you know. And yes, I mean there is faith, but there it seems like there is no faith today. And the news people, and people on the news, and people on the media, they're all lying. Except for the few that are finding the truth. Even Christians are lying and saying, oh, they're arrogant and finding themselves better than others. Well, there are reasons why I cannot name names. There's a guy named Jesse as well. His name is Diamond Vacation on YouTube. That's beside the point. There are a few people out there that love to do God's will. And that's not pride. That's actually called humility. And they're doing God's work. Not that I have done that all of my YouTube, but I try. I try to do God's work. No one's perfect. Honestly, this world is lying to each other, even the Christians. And we've really got to wake up. Seriously got to wake up. People are seriously... They understand what's going on. You know what the medieval times were? They had no internet, but they had each other. Today we have the internet. It seems like we've gone to the medieval times, where everything is just superstitions. And not only just that, it used to be just superstitions, but now it's gotten worse than that. Unbelief in superstitions. Yes, the superstitions of unbelief. There is no more faith in the world. Really isn't. You cannot find any more faith in everyone that is born again. Well, there really is no faith. So if you really are born again, you're probably born again in America. But if you are born again in America, that's good. But that's just rare. And what he means by, I believe what he means by not finding any more faith in America or in the world is twofold. There's no more faith because it is very rare to find faith. It seems like you cannot find it. That's what I mean. That's what he means. It seems like I cannot find any more faith, so he's practically, not given up, but said this is enough. I cannot have any more of this. So he raptures the people out and gives judgment instead of faith. There's going to be a time, very close to here I believe, when Jesus makes his mind up and says, I have had enough of this. He's almost had enough several times, I believe, in the past few years, especially at the last year. I mean, he's told me one time where he's practically had enough of this world. He's had tears and he's had enough, It's horrible, I believe he's constantly doing that, thinking, well, when do I take them out? When do I take them out of here? And then end up judging the world. It's the only salvation is when people decide to come to him. There's no more belief in Jesus, but there's a belief to follow him in 144,000. That's the first state of belief. Then the second state is really not taking the mark. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Remember, people, judgment is getting clear. Let's attach this to a meteor strikes somewhere in America. I think it was like Kentucky, near Ohio, wherever it was. I think it was Indiana. There was a meteor in Indiana near Ohio. People were thinking, oh, it's UFOs, 5K, not 5G, UFO, 5G, and even it being closer to the ground than usual, and all that sort of stuff. Everyone's just lying on the internet. The only thing I found on that one page, and I'll show you that one page before I leave. Well, the only thing I could find, and the only thing I could find truthful is, well, my post. But the only thing I found truthful is the fact that it was a meteor. It did not land on the ground. People are looking for it, and It's not existent because it burned up. There is no more sources of, well, UFOs or anything like that. I believe that UFOs do not exist, that they're really part of demons and their portals. The only conspiracy I have is the demons have the portals. People think, oh, there are such things as aliens. Let me tell you what's going to be aliens before I leave. The demons are going to fall from the sky like, stars. People are going to look for whatever landed on the ground. They're going to find demons. They're going to find very scary beings. And after that happens, there's going to be more people than usual. Then also, this is going to happen. Leaders are going to rise up. It's not going to be just, millions of them falling from the sky. There's just going to be like a number of them. Maybe 1 million of them coming from the sky. And they're going to be leaders. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a moon-like object. That's what I saw in my dream. And that moon object is really, I think, God. That moon object, I believe, is God taking us home. Because He's going to judge this earth. There's no moon of UFO. That's not a UFO. That light in the sky that looks like a moon that's scary, that's God. He's taking us home. He's going to take us home no matter what. And those stars falling from the sky are demons. Look it up in the Bible. You'll find this very fascinating. It's like He's like the morning star that's falling from the sky, like falls like lightning. There are words to describe Him. Remember this. If you ever wonder, were people telling the truth in the end days? Listen to this message. In the end days, there will be no one telling the truth. Listen to people back then, back before the rapture happened. Those people have the truth, some of them. And they're going to tell you, the rapture happened, God took them up. This was no UFO. This was God. It was all God's plan to take us up when He said there's no more fit for people to be saved. When there's no more people to be saved, well, remember this. People love to lie. They really do. They love to make up stories and think, oh, this is what happened. Especially these days. And you know where these lies came from? 1 billion people plus. Do you know where it came from? 6 billion to 8 billion people. And these 6 billion to 8 billion people, do you know what they found out that they could do? It wasn't just by communicating to each other on phone, no. It was all the internet. It's the internet's fault. But it really wasn't the internet's fault. It was everyone's fault for listening to the internet. For everything that was Chinese, Korean, and all that, they all gathered together to make up stories, to lie. Because it's the timing. Because everyone found out the way to lie to each other. All they want to do is lie. Because they love to lie. They love to lie. Even then, all liars shall have their even then, all liars shall have their place in the lake of fire. They shall all have their part in the lake of fire because they were just liars. And they did not accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior. And they just saw His salvation. Why do all these sinners have their part in the lake of fire? It's really because of sin. Not only that, but if they didn't believe that Jesus took all of their sins away, then whatever happens to them is really, if they don't believe, then their sin put them into the lake of fire. So all you have to do is call out to Jesus. Whatever way you want to call out to Jesus to accept you in heaven, do it. By a believing heart that He took all of your sins away. All of your sins away. Every single one. To the very last one. Call out to Jesus no matter what. Just have Him accept you. Do anything. And if you don't do that, you discover a really horrible time. Like no other time in the world's history. This world is really chaotic. Look it up. I'm going to show you the link. It's fascinating. All these people are doing is lying and lying together. Not in a lying and like not laying down with each other. They're literally lying with their mouths. Lying to each other about everything. This world loves to lie. And loves to lie all the time. May Jesus' mercy be on this world. Alright, I'll be done, okay?